Good morning to all of you. We have already started with our new chapter, that is training in sports and training and doping in sports. But we are going with the topic training in sports. What is training? A planned and controlled process for achieving a goal is known as training. A planned and controlled process for achieving a goal is known as training. In sports, before the competition, what we are undergoing is known as training. Like we have set our goal, what we want to achieve. According to it, we will go for the training. So that is training in sports. But for achieving any target, we have to plan our we have to go under training. We have to go for training, and there are some rules and regulations, or you can say that there are some principles. There are some principles which are to be followed for for obtaining the result. Some of the that is known as principles of sports training. The first principle is known as principle of continuity. As the name suggests, continuity means you should continue with your training. There should not be any gap, or there should not be any gap between the training sessions. You can take rest. There should be rest and recovery, but no gap like for weeks and months. Otherwise, whatever physical abilities, whatever physical abilities you have developed in your inside your body will be lost, and your performance will go down. There are some physical abilities that we gain through training. That is endurance, agility, skills, flexibility. Then comes strength. But if you are taking gap in between the trainings, so that if you're taking the gap between the sessions of the training, you will be losing your all these physical components. So there should not be any gap between the trainings. The principle of this principle stress on the importance of continuous training. This principle suggests the importance of continuous training. There should not be prolonged inactivity, or there should not be prolonged gap between the training sessions. Otherwise, it can lead to the decreased physical abilities of the sports person. It can lead to the decreased physical abilities of the sports person. So, principle of discontinuity means there should not be principle of continuity means there should not be any gap between the two training sessions, or between when you are going when you are undergoing the training. There should not be any gap. For example, if you the cycle is prepared according to the uh, duration of the tournament. After that comes the principle of balance. Principle of balance means it sees the intensity and proportion of the trainings. It sees the intensity and proportion of the training, which includes diet, lifestyle habits, and all that. After that comes the principle of overload. Again, as the name suggests, the load on the body should be above the load on the body should be above the normal range of the individual. Means he should be able to carry the load more than his own weight. That is known as principle of overload. Why we are going for more load than the load of an individual? Because then you are able to adapt to that load easily, and it enhances your performance. It enhances your performance compared to what you are supposed to do. Like, for example, if you are lifting now, going for weight training and all that. I don't think that rule will say that go for at least 5 kg, 10 kg, but you will not go for 1 kg. Otherwise, you are not. You will. It is quite easy for you to lift 1 kg than to lift 5 kg or 10 kg. So you should be able to go for the what to say above the normal range of the load of the individual. It enhances the performance of sports person, as they have to work harder, to achieve the new challenges. If you are facing the new challenges, then only we will come to know, okay, If you are ready to face the challenges, that is very good for you also, and you can be easily, you can achieve the goal more easily compared to the other persons. Then comes the principle of progression. What does progression means? Progress means, okay, progression means progress slowly, 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 not at once. Progression means progress slowly, not at once. So this principle states that increase of overload should be gradual, not at once. Should be gradual at a reasonable rate. Because if what to say, if you are giving the load at once only, what it can lead to? It can lead to injuries. It can lead to injuries. If you are in the on the first day only, for an athlete, you are telling them, okay, run 10 kilometers. That is too much for him. And what will happen? There will be a hamstring pull can be also there, or something, muscle pain can be there. To avoid it, you should gradually increase the load of an individual. Okay, today 2 kilometers or 3 kilometers. Once he is adapted to that particular range, after that you can increase the load. It can, after that you can go for 5 kilometers. When he is adapted to that 5 kilometers, then you can go for 7 to 8. Like that, slowly, slowly you should increase the load. Gradually you should increase the load. At once only if you are increasing, that means you are giving it chances of risk, chances of injury are there for an individual. So what does this this principle says to you? This principle states that increase of overload should be gradual, process at a reasonable rate. A rapid increase can cause serious complications to an individual, such as muscle damage or injury. And moreover, there should be ample time for rest and recovery in order to avoid exhaustion. After that comes the principle of rest and recovery. Again, the same thing. Whenever we are doing something, we should be able to take rest. This is different from continuity. Rest and recovery, rest and recovery is more important, so that your body is again ready for the next challenge. Discontinuity means you are taking a gap between the between the sessions more than the required time, so that uh, then whatever you have gained in your body will be lost. So principle of rest and recovery, an athlete's body needs rest and recovery to become better and stronger than before. To become better and stronger than before, what we require? Rest and recovery. That is a principle of rest and recovery. An intense cardio workout means, a cardio workout generally means what you can say heart and lungs. Regarding that, when we for best example is running. You can say on the treadmill also, or here also. Uh, is followed by an elongated phase of metabolic recovery. Whenever we are doing a cardio workout, your heart rate will go up, and oxygen consumption level will also go up. To bring to the to bring back to the normal level, you require proper rest and recovery. Similarly, if you are doing weight training, today you are doing your weight training. Today in your session there will be the exercise for the upper part. Tomorrow you will not be doing the exercise for the upper part again, because muscles might have not recovered fully, and what it can lead to, it can lead to injury. So today you are doing exercise for the upper part. Tomorrow there will be exercise for the lower part. By that time, the muscles and different parts of the body are recovered fully. Again, uh, your muscles which are recovered fully are ready for the next workout. So today upper part, to tomorrow lower body part. After that, again when third day it will be upper part. So that your after doing intense workout of the weight training, your body is ready to after recovery, it is ready and more stronger, it has bounced back. So that is principle of rest and recovery. Now comes principle of individual differences. As the name suggests, individual differences means no two human beings are same. No five out of the hand only we can say 5 fingers are not same. Similarly, no two human beings are same. Everyone is having different what to say, different muscles. One is able to you can say take load more easily, one individual will be able to recover more fast than other. You can say best example is gender wise. You can say man is able to recover more fast than women. Okay, now according to it only, you should plan the training session according to the requirement and according to the gender and according to the need only. You should plan the training session. According by that only you will be able to understand. Okay, they are individual differences. So the basis of this principle is that every sports person is different and has physiological differences among themselves only. The effect of exercise and load differ on differ from person to person. You will be, I will be able to lift 10 kg, but you will be able to lift 5 kg. So according to the requirement and according to the capacity of an individual, we should make a training. We should schedule a training session. But before scheduling the training session, we should keep in mind few points like small muscles. Small muscles recover faster than big muscles. Suppose if we are doing exercise for smaller muscles, we know that okay they will be recovering more fast than the big muscles. So the coach knows which body part and which muscle he has given the exercise to that individual. According to it only he will plan the workout. Now men recover faster than women. According to it only you will make the time schedule and training session schedule. After that comes other features, other characteristics which you have to keep into the mind is age. You can't give the training to a 30-year-old person, same training to that 20-year also. Age difference is there. Muscle become little bit, but bone weight and muscles are more, what to say, having strength in 20 years of age compared to 40 years of age. He will be able to do workout more easily compared to that 40 or 50 years of age of an individual. After that comes medical history. What is medical history? Whether an individual is having some problem. Today, if you are going, today you are going for weight training. Already he is having back injury. So you will not just for the fitness level, you can give him the weight training, okay, of 1 kg, 2 kg if he is able to, but you can't give him the a weight of 10 to 20 to 30 kg because already he is having back pain or any. This was the example. Any other medical ailments, some pre-medical history is having, some disease he is having. According to it, you should be, and what type of motivation level an individual requires. Some people get aroused or some people get motivation by seeing others. If you are, uh, when when suppose an individual working within a individual is undergoing training alone only, so his motivation level will be less. But if two or three are there to give the better out of the other two, so he will be performing his best. Okay? According to it, you should plan the session. After that comes the principle of specificity. Now, which body part? The basis of this principle is that the only way to develop a particular component of the body is to is by improving its strength and skills. Again, the best example is a long distance runner. What you require in it, what you require in him, you require speed, you require stamina, or you can say endurance. You require strengthening his heart because he had to run more, so that he should be able to adapt to that load, who is running marathon, and compared to that individual who will be lifting the weight. So he doesn't have to have endurance regarding running. He should have strength endurance, but running endurance where you are running continuously for 2 hours. He is not running for 2 hours. He is just lifting the weight. That is strength endurance just for a short time of period, so that he is able to lift the weight and put it down. So weightlifter training is alag, and endurance marathon athlete training is something different. So according to it only you have to plan the training session. After that comes principle of active involvement. For example, in a class you are studying, teacher is giving you notes, teacher is making you understand the topic. but you are not listening to the teacher, what will happen? You are not actively participating in the discussion on the topic what the teacher is teaching. What will happen? It will be that okay, he you will not be able to learn what he want to teach you. You will not be able to learn what he want to teach you. You are listening, you are doing your duty. Till the active participation is not there, it is a process of give and take. Till you are not listening, till you are not able to listen properly, you are not actively participating. There is no interest for the teacher also to teach the class. There is no interest for the teacher also to teach the class. If more children are participating actively, so that teacher also think that okay, I am teaching my teaching perfect, my teaching technique is good, and according to it, he will teach the class. Now regarding sports, we are going. If you are simply he is saying okay, go for endurance workout. Endurance workout is something like that where you have to gain the endurance. What is endurance? Ability of the body to resist the condition of fatigue. But whatever the training or the shift schedule the coach has given to you, follow that. Completing the race, 100 meter, you can complete the race in 1 minute also, in 10 seconds also. But what is important? 100 meter in 100 meters, the speed is important. So according to it, when the coach has made the program, you should be able to actively participate in the training session. After that comes the principle of variation. Variation means uh, there should be variation in the load and recovery of an individual or the sports person. There should be variation. There should be different types of coaching. Daily you can't go for running. Suppose I am telling you, okay, I am telling the athlete, okay, go for running. Then to bring out the best out of an athlete, the path can be changed. The path can be changed, or different types of activity can be changed. For example, I want to make him run 100 meter, but in the sport, if I'm telling him to run in zigzag way, he will also interested to do it because daily he was running straight only, but now in zigzag he has run more than what I wanted to get from out of him. He has run more than 100 meters, and he also interested. Okay, today there was variation. So the if there's if there is the same load and recovery period daily, the training session become dull. The training session become dull. To avoid this, to avoid this, there should be the coach must introduce variety in the process, such as changing the session training timing and duration. Today you are doing daily. If you are doing the training in the evening, change it to the morning. Sometimes change it to the afternoon, so that the individual will also feel happy. If you are changing the time, changing the volume and intensity of the workout, changing the volume and intensity of the workout. It what does it help? It helps in preserving the interest of the individual. It helps in preserving the interest of an individual. So principle of variation, not two or three, two principles are more left. That is principle of warming up and cooling down, and principle of cyclicity. That we will be doing in our next class. Okay, dear students, thank you.